Hello, everyone. Amanda Williams, MD, MPH, here with you today. I want to make sure that you are covering your bases when it comes to your cellular health. And no better way to accomplish that than making sure that you have a comprehensive multivitamin, multimineral on board. So, I wanted to talk about our performance multivitamin. Sometimes when people hear the name performance, maybe you're thinking, oh, maybe that's geared towards someone who's working out. And certainly, we know that many athletes use our formulation, our performance multivitamin. And there's a reason why, because number one, it's incredibly comprehensive in terms of the full spectrum of vitamins and minerals, but it's packed with so much more. And so I just want you to be aware of the fact that this is really a super choice for anyone across the board. So let's kind of get into why this particular multivitamin, multimineral is so spectacular. Well, first and foremost, when we look at the performance, and so it comes in a box like this, and I've talked about this before, but I just wanted to mention it again because I think it's really important when we recognize just how easy it is to use these. So you get a packet, and there's 4 pills in the packet, and you take this once a day. When do you take it? Usually most people take it after breakfast. So, but you can certainly take it at dinner time too, whenever it's convenient and easy for you. But each one individually packaged. So you don't have to fool around with different bottles. Everything is in just that one packet. So what does it contain? Well, of course, it has all of your vitamins and minerals. It also includes a full spectrum of natural vitamin E. So when I say a full spectrum, this means it has the tocopherols along with the tocotrienols. Now, why is that important? Well, first, it's natural. So when you look at a lot of multivitamins that are out there on the market, many times they cut corners and they give you synthetic vitamin E, which is not a good thing. We never, ever, ever want to use synthetic vitamin E. Now, if you are not supplement savvy, you may not know how to actually detect if your multivitamin has a synthetic version. Well, a little trick is when you look at how they label your vitamin E, it's going to have a D in front of it. So we want to make sure it's D alpha tocopherol. And when you're using the synthetics, it doesn't say that. So always be sure. And the main thing is use a reputable company such as InVite Health, and you don't even have to worry about getting exposed to synthetic vitamin E, which we know is not a good thing. The reason why, when you think about a synthetic vitamin, for example, it mimics the same structure as what would normally be occurring in nature. However, the functionality may be slightly different. And that's what we do know now with synthetic vitamin E. So avoid at all costs. So ours has this natural full spectrum. So you're getting the tocopherols plus the tocotrienols. And we know the tocotrienols, they're kind of like the super charger of all vitamin E's, which is really quite unique because they're very specified towards targeting oxidative stress that occurs even within your cholesterol particles. And this is very important because we don't ever want to have excess oxidized LDLs. Not a good thing in terms of cardiovascular risk. How would you know? Have your blood tested and have your oxidized LDL level tested. Then you will know. But we definitely know that the tocotrienols are very targeted towards this. This also contains your active B vitamin. So it has methylfolate, not folic acid, it has methylfolate. It also has methylcobalamin, not cyanocobalamin. So it has the biologically active form of those critical B vitamins. So it's yielding you a power punch of your B complex with those bioactive forms. And then it also contains a really unique citrus bioflavonoid complex. So, what does that mean for your overall cellular health? Well, it means that you're getting even more antioxidants than just what your normal vitamins are providing. We know our vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin A, B vitamins, as a matter of fact, all give us natural antioxidants. But we enhance this particular formulation by adding in that bioflavonoid complex. But we don't stop it right there. We also have our eye blend. in this. So, for eye health, but also keep in mind those carotenoids are incredibly important for brain health as well. So, this has zeaxanthin, lutein, and lycopene in it. Yes, these are the power carotenoids for eyeball health. And this is really, really important because as we get older, and we know how many people sit in front of their phones, in front of their computers, and you're getting that exposure to that blue light. We know that the blue light that is emitted from these devices is much stronger than what we get from the sun. So most people, when they go outside, they put sunglasses on to protect their eyeballs. So you have to make sure that you have those carotenoids on board. And we know that your food generally is not yielding you enough carotenoid exposure. I mean, as a matter of fact, we know most foods are not providing or yielding you enough of the main micronutrients and vitamins, which is why taking a daily multivitamin is so important. And people ask me that all the time. Well, I eat pretty healthy, so do I really need a multivitamin? Yes, you do. Because even if you think that you're eating really healthy, say for example, you're even eating organic, which is really good, you're probably still lacking certain amounts of key vitamins and minerals because we know that the nutrients in the soil are not as dense as they once used to be. So, yes, a multivitamin is certainly essential. So you do always want to make sure that you include that. So this is why I'm talking about the performance today because I want you to really see it goes far beyond that of your traditional multivitamin multimineral complex because you're getting that citrus bioflavonoid complex. You're also getting that full spectrum of all of those vitamin E's. You are also getting the support for your eyes with that zeaxanthin and the lutein and the lycopene. And lutein's really cool because we know lutein is incredibly beneficial when it comes to targeting that blue light in particular. So lutein, having extra lutein by taking this performance multivitamin really does support your eyes much more than you would even realize. But what really makes this stand apart? It has two added nutrients that are such a power punch, not only for cellular energy, but for cellular support, and that is rhodiola, which is my favorite adaptogenic herb. And what does that mean? It means it helps in terms of your adrenal gland response. So if you're a little stressed out, and most people are, we have to be realistic, most people have some level of stress in their life. And your adrenal glands are responsible for releasing the stress hormone cortisol. Excess cortisol, not a good thing because sometimes cortisol gets lost in the body. It's like, where should I go? And then it ends up hanging out in your belly fat, not a fun place for it to be. So, this is why we want to always make sure that we are modifying our body's response to stress. And the way that we can do that is with these adaptogenic herbs, rhodiola being a very important player in that. Now, it's not only that rhodiola is playing this role in terms of proper modulation of cortisol, it also does something really unique, and that is at a cellular mitochondrial level, it helps to enhance ATP production. What is that? Adenosine triphosphate. And why is that important? Because that's cellular energy. And if we can't make cellular energy, then we are lacking overall energy system wide. So each cell has a little role to play each and every single day in terms of energy production. We know that rhodiola helps to push that ATP out of the cell so we have more energy, which is why rhodiola has been studied across the spectrum for so many different conditions. When we look at exercise, and so for athletic performance, certainly this is where rhodiola first became kind of its claim to fame. So many athletes have utilized rhodiola for both pre and post workout for cellular energy recovery, but also just to enhance their energy during an actual workout itself. And we're not talking about just your average, once a week worker outer. We're talking about Olympic athletes who utilize rhodiola for this purpose. And then we also know rhodiola has been studied in the broad spectrum of things like generalized anxiety disorder and mood disorders and high stress. So we know that rhodiola has a strong research background in terms of providing and yielding all of these many different benefits. And just think, you take your multivitamin and it's giving you some rhodiola. Can't beat that. And then we have SOD. And the SOD that we use, which is superoxide dismutase. And this is one of our endogenous, means the body makes it itself, antioxidants. The form that we use is called extramel, and it's actually derived from a melon. And this is a registered trademark form of this very unique superoxide dismutase. And this is important not only to help stabilize and enhance our antioxidant defenses. And when I say stabilize, it helps to support the stabilization of vitamin C in the body. It helps to support the stabilization of vitamin E and glutathione and catalase and CoQ10. So we know that SOD is incredibly important for that. But what's also really interesting about SOD is that there is a direct correlation between low serum levels of superoxide dismutase in the body and your carotid artery thickening. And if you have a thickened carotid artery, that's not a good thing because that means that's less blood flow traveling to our noggin. We have to make sure that we don't have that. We don't want stenosis, or a lot of times people use the old term hardening of the arteries, but we don't want that to happen in the carotid arteries. And what they have recognized in diabetics, this was a really interesting study that they did. They tested the serum superoxide dismutase level of diabetics, and they found a direct correlation that those diabetics who had the lowest SOD levels had the highest rate of carotid artery thickening. So stenosis within the carotid artery. So the science is there. We know that our bodies come equipped with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants for a reason. And if we are not getting enough of them from our diet or via supplementation, then the body struggles. And so when you look at a diabetic, for example, we already know that they're at a greater risk of things such as cardiovascular endothelial damage. So having SOD on board is really quite advantageous, which is why I like to talk about the performance multivitamin, because I don't want you to walk away and think, oh, that must just be for athletes, because it certainly is not. We know that the performance multivitamin covers so many people's needs. Whether you are a bit on the stressed out side, performance multivitamin can be your new best friend. Maybe you just do feel sluggish. Maybe you have kind of an underactive thyroid where it's just, you just can't seem to get going. The performance multivitamin can do so much to support your overall sense of well being. If you have those concerns when it comes to cardiovascular health, performance multivitamin is a really wonderful choice because you're going to get that exposure to that registered trademarked form of superoxide dismutase coming from that extramel. And that is so important because many times we take for granted the role that antioxidants actually play in our true existence. And if we don't have adequate antioxidants on board, then our cells begin to suffer from that because they can only do so much to fend off oxidative stress and free radicals that we're exposed to on a daily basis, many of which are created within the human body itself. So we have to make sure that we have the tools to combat that, which is what makes the performance so incredibly unique. And like I said, it's so easy to take. One little packet. Maybe you're on the go in the morning, take your packet with you. And then later in the day, maybe at lunchtime, you take your performance. Definitely something worth checking out. Go to our website, invitehealth.com, and look at our performance multivitamin. I will be back with you in a few more days to talk about more wonderful formulations available at InVite Health. Thank you.